Hey, traders, happy Sunday. Hope you had a great weekend. Got to refresh and recharge your batteries. It seems like Bitcoin could be doing that one way or another, right? And just wanted to go live for, just a few minutes, just to see how the week looks like it's going to close. Still at that really major inflection point, that $30,000 to $31,000 bottom of the range you've been stuck in for nearly 2 months now, around 2 months. So, this is exactly where an asset can reverse to the upside. This is exactly where, if enough distribution's gone on, this is exactly where an asset can plummet right through it and go to, the next support, which unfortunately below where you're trying to hold on to, there's very little to no support. All right, so that's what's concerning about it. This area, this gray area is, broken through to the downside. All right. And across the cryptosphere, it's the same thing. Very little has gone on this weekend, but we still got that valid poll. I don't even know where it is now. I don't even know if I can recover it, but there were like 1,500 people had voted on it or something, and it was a marginal majority of all the votes. The 1,500 votes said like 53% said that this 4-hour bullish Gartley with bullish divergence would play out, and then 47% of the 1,500 said that the bearish 12-hour and daily and weekly would play out. Right, this is it. I mean, you have like a rectangle with a pretty much confirmed partial rise, rounded out at a 618, and there wasn't even close to getting back to the top of the rectangle. Momentum's been really bearish lately, so those are the arguments, right? Nothing's certain, nothing's set in stone. Both situations can play out, and really, even the 4-hour divergence and the Gartley can play out. It could underperform, just make another lower high, another one, dude, and then come back down and then break down. So they can both play out. I'm really curious to see the type of performance that, if it does play out here, right, this Gartley plays out, I want to see performance. Will it rally to the supply line of the falling wedge pattern? It's pretty confirmed now. 4-hour, it's not like that big a deal. But will it, run up to that 200 moving average, test it and break it? Will it make a higher high than the previous high? Because that has been the story, man, lately has just been Bitcoin can't make higher highs. And it really has not been able to make higher lows either. If you understand how important this area is, every single time now, man, you go from May 23rd, candle low close 33,080, right? June 8th, candle low close 31.8. Look at this. June 22nd, candle low close 31,262. Look at this. June 26th, 30,838 candle close. You only really made lower lows. So that's why it's so important here that Bitcoin actually somehow can, for the first time in this effing rectangle, for real, make a higher low. What do higher lows represent? They represent forms of accumulation, at least some level, But anyway, that's just me beating a dead horse here with the same freaking analysis every freaking day, because nothing changes. It's like in the summertime, volatility is dumping, its lowest levels since April 22nd, and continuing to fall. And doesn't really look like. Why would it stop? Historically, it normally majorly stops at the bottom of the range or the top of the range. Just confirmed multiple times the top, so why not head to the bottom again and then complete a bullish Gartley in its own, right? And dude, it's like literally the same thing across the entire market. I'm just talking like Ethereum. You go to it, hey, it's the same thing on the 4-hour. That argument, it's like, hey, bullish divergence near the PCZ of a bullish cipher pattern. You know, Cypher with all the divergence on the 60-minute and 4-hour, it's there, and now it's holding, and I mean, like, it's above 1872. You know, these are the things where it's homogenous to Bitcoin and what Bitcoin wants to do, man. Yeah, I wish it looked better. Daily's kind of interesting. I mean, you know, if it can pivot here, right? You just think about, could turn into bullish convergence, a higher low could be developed, and that could be like, you know, a major like X, A, B, C, C to D wave, you know. But again, just wishful thinking right now with where Bitcoin is. It's just staring into the abyss. Bitcoin's staring into the abyss. I mean, you know, definitely an argument that could be made for absorption of remaining demand at a critical area of support, 30 to 31K. That's right, and the weekly doesn't really look good either. It's on the bearish side of the argument where you're going for your lowest candle close on the weekly since January, I think 22nd maybe. What was that? Lowest weekly candle, I'm sorry, yep, since December 21st, that week of 2020, last year. So I understand what you're saying, dude. It will be the lowest candle close since December 21st. It's going to be closing lower than it closed the week of December 28th, lower close than the week of January 18th, lower candle close January 25th that week. Yeah, it's just not really bullish. It doesn't look good on the weekly. Decibel check, I guess. I don't know, man. Took off yesterday because I figured it was going to be like dead as F, you know, because no price action. No price action today. So, yeah, I mean, not much has been covered that wasn't covered on Friday when I streamed, you know. Everything's almost identical in a 48-hour plus period, so... Dude, and it's everywhere. I mean, what, you want to go to Litecoin? I guess something on Litecoin, you look at the daily, it could be just this mega falling wedge pattern. That's a long way to go. If market participants want to push it to $90, I guess they can. And it'd still be contained within the parameters of this crazy structure. Downsloping price contraction. It just doesn't like look great. I mean, yeah, maybe eventually they can break out. It hasn't. Can't. It won't if Bitcoin dumps. Bitcoin doesn't. I mean, now we're just like on Bitcoin. All right, Gartley's at the pattern completion zone. It's reacting somewhat, but it's going nowhere. Nowhere, dude. No one's buying Bitcoin. Remember those times when you find Gartley's at PCZs of bullish divergence, and man, they would play out so well, and we're just not in those conditions anymore right now. Yeah, I was supposed to not be here anyway. I was supposed to go tubing down the Cahaba River with friends, and since the weather's so bad every single day, and it's bad again today, it got canceled, so here I am, you know. Like, I'd much rather be out on the Cahaba, dude, but hey, I figured since I'm not, let's just look at some effing charts. I guess we can go to Dogecoin. That is kind of interesting, but in the end, it doesn't matter at all. Like, none of this matters. This little argument for triple divergence, triple bullish divergence, 200-day moving average, divergence developing on the RSI, it won't matter, Bitcoin dumps, but it's just kind of interesting to look at, you know, like, wow, this asset has made one bottom, a second bottom. It's showing maybe, possibly, that in some way that sellers are exhausted and on Doge, on a significant time scale, and then you go to the 4-hour and it's a bat, the bullish bat that did react. It went a little lower than the pattern completion zone, but did react pretty well, but has not really gone anywhere. I mean, that's typical. I mean, even in bearish conditions, you'll get a harmonic and you'll catch a reaction, but it won't do anything. It won't like manifest into like a reversal of the upside, dude. So whatever. Yes, I was looking at charts.
What's up, Mr. Page? Matic on weekly forming a bull flag with decreasing volume. Yes, I'm high on Hopium.
Yeah, dude, you just go ahead and overdose, because I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just gonna do what Bitcoin does. It's probably gonna do worse than Bitcoin when it dumps. I mean, right? It's terrible, dude. I mean, it's just awful. Like this is exactly what you get in bearish conditions when you get an asset that'll hit a pattern completion zone of a very, very real harmonic, and it'll just go like 50 bars and do nothing, right? Bitcoin's kind of doing nothing in its pattern completion zone, right? And then can't make higher highs, and it starts rolling over again. And now it's made the lowest low it's seen since May 23rd, and soon probably it's going down to 68.9 cents, nearly 70 cents. And then once it breaks that, well, probably going down to 52 cents. And the correction will just keep going, I think this thing could go a lot deeper, right? It's Matic. It doesn't do anything. It can't prove to you how it can make you money. There's no price to earnings. There's no earnings per coin. None of that exists. So it's all based on speculation, momentum, Bitcoin, and sentiment. And all of those things, check mark, are bad right now. So, right, bad sentiment, no news-driven catalysts that are positive for Bitcoin play out at all. So how you know the sentiment's really bad, right? Momentum's bad. You're making consecutive lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, or just lower highs and with a buy wall, which is equally, that's pretty bad too. Momentum bad, sentiment bad, speculative. So speculators don't really like buying into assets that are making consecutive lower highs, lower lows. So they're looking for other assets, to put their money into right now. So honestly, it's equally as bad as it was on Friday. Yeah, Umar, dude. Yeah, it moved. It literally moved and is going up and down. That's not true. It's fake news. You must be looking at the 5-minute chart or something. It's just going sideways. It's literally right at a 78% retrace from its previous major low that happened back in late June. All right at it. So that's your Matic, dude. You want more of this? It's just breaking that support. Because we apply that other, support. Yeah, truly is. Nice daily bullish divergence. Maybe in development. It won't be in development. It just started, so you can't even say it yet, probably. Because, dude, big ones are dumping. This negative momentum is just going to start building again, and then who knows where it's going to land. Like how large that negative momentum histogram island is going to get, turn something like that. So I just think it's too early. It's just probably not a good. It's definitely not a good area to be like. You're on the other side of the fence of momentum, right? The buying climax happened. The composite operator marked up the price. You had the huge buying climax, and you had the big sell-off, the kind of crash, and then the attempted rally, and that confirmed that there are less market participants that own the asset than they did before, and the correction that can last months. You haven't even tested that 200-day moving average? Probably will. 64.8 cents. You hadn't seen it since freaking January.
Please do not forget about HBAR. Prometheus, are you seeing this?
Nah, you get double bottoms all the time in downtrends. That thing's been making consecutive lower highs, lower lows. That's one of the most confirmed downtrends you've seen. Okay, it's been terrible. Who cares if it makes a potential double bottom, but then rallies and makes another lower high than the previous highs? It's just continuing the downtrend. Especially if Bitcoin goes down, the thing's going to get destroyed. Thank you, Sultan. Anything can happen. Yeah, anything can happen. But again, if you're basing it on like significant time scales on charts, right? There are certain things we look for that can really help us determine which way it could be going next. We had that for like 8 months plus in crypto. We had so many chances, so many, rallies, pullbacks, divergence developed on significant time scales over and over and over. Bullish structures manifested, right? There were so many things that happened on the way up, and then the correction began after a buying climax on these altcoins.
Noise! Don't worry, even hand grenades have crummy haircuts.
So Blizzard, thanks to 20. I don't know what that means. Talking about these assets getting haircuts. Don't really know what you mean, dude. So sold to do. Thanks, man. Oh, I don't even know. I mean, yeah, you want to look at it, sure. Who cares at this point, right? It's down 3.3%, dude. This doesn't matter or mean crap, dude. This means nothing. It's not oversold. I mean, yeah, it bounced off the high from February 18th. You're telling me to look at it because it's made a second bottom, but who cares about the second bottom? There's still zero accumulation, but there is still very real evidence that the continuation of distribution is going on right now, right? Until you break above 21.22 cents, then after breaking that, you pull back and make a true high or low. Who cares what this thing, I wouldn't be touching this right now. I don't care what it looks like on the chart. It's HBAR, man. Hydra hash graph, dude. Who cares? Low or high? Same low. Maybe slightly higher low. Accumulation happens in downtrends all the time. There's just not enough evidence.
Evaluate WKHS when you get a moment.
What's up, Balapa? Thanks for 20, dude. Yeah, it's Dawn. Cool look at Workhorse. I think it had scanned through it last week sometime. Yeah, well, look. So, sold to do this. I mean, I get it, I understand, but you're not in an uptrend, right? You're just making all these lower lows, lower highs. Momentum is bearish. 200 moving average cannot be broken. Look, you're running up and up, thrusting through it, and you're just falling back below it again. It's just bad, dude. Bad. So I would say steer clear. It's going to get destroyed harder than Bitcoin gets destroyed if Bitcoin ever breaks 30K. Because it always does. It's historical evidence, man. What was that? Give you hope? Nah, dude. I'm not giving you hope because the chart doesn't imply. I give you hopium, but there's also copium. Right? And the only hopium you have is the 4-hour bullish Gartley at a major support resistance showing triple MACD bullish divergence that truly kind of seems like it's already played out on the MACD and it's gone nowhere. So very weak performance where an area it should be reacting really well. It's reacting zero. Like reacting to run up to 32K, then sell off to 31.5, just doing nothing. The volatility is dumping. It's been dumping, and it's going to continue probably to dump. And the weekly, 12-hour, daily kind of look terrible. They kind of look bad. So I can't give you hope when there is no hope to give, really. Who knows if it'll keep the support up. Based on the 12-hour and daily, no, it won't keep up. Like if you are reading that we're in a downtrend right now in crypto and bearish variables outperform or are often, maybe not outperform, but are often reliable, you would say, yeah, eventually we would break 30K. But who knows? I mean, that's what I'm saying. We've seen Gartleys turn into insane reversals. And you got one right now, but it's only on the 4-hour. So you have time scales that are telling you, they're giving you mixed signals, which is just not ideal conditions to swing trade in at all. You want all the time scales, the 4-hour, shoot man, the 60-minute, the 4-hour, the daily, the 12-hour, the weekly, the 3-day, the month. You want them all to say at the same time, up next. You don't want the 4-hour and maybe 60-minute are saying up next, and then the 12-hour and the daily and the weekly are saying bearish. You just don't want that, man. Yes, Abdelwab, yes. Again, the weekly is honing in for its lowest weekly candle close since the week of December 21st of 2020. Yeah, almost continuation. Candle the downside. So, yeah, man, look at this. It's just let's go to an asset that's been historically an outperformer in bullish conditions. Binance coin. I mean, it sucks, dude. You look at this asset. It was a beautiful, well, it was like a Head and Shoulders. It looked bad. It was like, oh man, distribution, you double topped on the right shoulder, and you're just right at this critical support, absorption of remaining demand most likely. It happened. It dumped really hard. Didn't quite hit, I think, a measurement. It was really close. Either way, it reversed at an 88% retrace because it went from Head and Shoulders into a bullish shark pattern, rallied really well, but it's hit this major inflection point and has hit it not just once and failed, but twice and failed. But you have one more attempt, and it couldn't. It's so weak. There's so many less market participants that the asset can't even rally to test the top of the inflection point anymore, or even the zone of inflection, right, the bottom to top. So 1, 2, 3 consecutive lower highs, and then you have two valleys, one valley and then the lower valley. That is like a 4-hour textbook potential 3 falling peaks. And look at the price action correlation to the 200 moving average. It is terrible. Now, I hope it just rallies and invalidates this and it's amazing and we can all just like be happy, but dang, man, that is bad. Like if you flip this chart over, okay, you flip this chart over, this is like, oh my God, this is where you'd probably be going long. 3 rising valleys after back testing an old support as support again, not once, but twice. And then the third valley is so strong that it can't even back test because there's so much accumulation. Holy crap, dude. And the way you're skating along that 200 moving average, holding it as support. I mean, just, maybe it runs up, dude, but this is just not good, not a good look. If you're bullish. Now, if you're bearish, this could be like, dang, dude, this thing could dump, man. Go to 205, 185 next. All right. Luta, if you're short, you probably love Binance right now. And just the way it looks. Let's pull up Hex. Does anyone remember that time? The third target of the trade setup was 18.8 cents, the 3618 fib extension. The high to low of the old structure, that was third target, that was the exit. It was like you're done after that. The asset's down 11% today. It made one high, just kidding, it double topped. It made 2 peaks, a confirmation high. So you'd think, I mean, who cares now? Yeah, who cares now? And I mean, there's like this asset's been an anomaly. It's been doing really good things. Its bullish patterns have been playing out. Its bearish patterns have been playing out, but they've just been underperforming really bad. Like there was an old double top that it lost 33% of its value. That was the second target of the old trade setup, right? And then this new pattern presented itself, and we're like, ooh, time to get back in, man. It's signaling more upside, and it did. It got way more upside, but now it's topped out again, and so we gotta wait for maybe this double top to play out, and then it creates some sort of inverse Head and Shoulders or something, right? Gives us some reason. Mar short 6K down for the week. Shorts, I mean, those charts, man, they just signify the amount of open short positions, okay? And it's really normally on one exchange. Okay, it doesn't mean like the amount of money, it's just like how many open positions are short right now. X is like all the others except for the chart. I mean, like, dudes, it's been a really nice uptrend, but this could have been the buying climax, man. I'm not here to try to speculate which coin's best unless we're talking about technicals. We're talking about technicals. This thing has been the best. I mean, it has truly been the best. I mean, since April, really. This one's been the one, dude. But that can change at all times. And once profit taking levels are had and once out of it, they wait back on the sidelines, waiting for Hex to do something bullish again, to show a bullish signal, a reason why, right? Hidden bullish divergence on oscillators on third valleys, you know, that stuff. When will I go bullish on Bitcoin? Probably when it breaks back above 40K, 42K, like for real. Like, I mean, with like conviction, volume, back tested as support, makes consecutive higher highs, higher lows, because I think at the above 42, 43K or whatever, that's where you can run up to $58,000 probably pretty fast. So I think there's levels where you want to be like confirmed on the resumption of the long-term major uptrend. I think it's got to be probably above 42, 43K. And anything before then is like, well, there's always a chance. 40K is that resistance, dudes. You know, it sucks. I feel like I'm going crazy, dude. Like, oh, we look at, you know, the market's like, market volume, volatility's dead. You know, it's the weekend. The stock market's closed. So it's like, okay, well, we kind of covered things on Friday with the stock market that was you know, it closed and it's still closed, so nothing new to talk about there. I guess we can go to gold or something. That yeah, it pulled back and it's down a little bit on the new day, new week. That's okay. Yeah, bearishly engulfed on Friday. That's fine. Anything above 1750 to 1800 is okay, man. Yeah, you just had a really nice run. You just had a real nice run, almost, you know, 2 weeks straight. So yeah, you pull back, you're outside the supply line again, you're above the major support resistance, you gotta be above. Everything's okay on gold. All right, this is the one that is actually like showing an argument for bulls, not bears. There's not contradicting variables. There's not mixed signals going on gold. It's all kind of like, this actually looks really good on the weekly and the daily and other time scales. This pattern is colossal. This is a huge size structure, potential. I mean, been in development since December, 230-day potential inverse head and shoulder size. That is big, man. Cool story, bro, right? And silver fell back below 26, which it's not as in good shape as gold in terms of support resistance that are critical from history. Really want to see silver recover back above $26. Otherwise, it's not good. It's like anytime you're below that level, dang, man, the price action's awful. So I mean, would prefer gold goes up because silver is probably going to follow it. But yeah, bearish and golden candle on Friday. I mean, everything kind of got wrecked, man. Index funds, more profit taking across the whole board. So yeah, gold above that level that is oh so important. Silver kind of below it now. So that's kind of the difference where we are. I don't know, Philip, man. Most assets are making some form of harmonic, and it doesn't matter if the trend is bearish still. Like, right? These are the, like, when you get XABCDs, you get M shapes, Ws. I mean, if you get M shapes and the market's sentiment and the trend is still downward, you're kind of catch some reactions, but you're eventually just going to see massive underperformance. It's not going to reverse the overall downtrend you've been in for, you know, a while, and then it's just going to eventually roll over, which is what we've already seen on a lot of harmonics in this market. So that should tell you kind of how things are right now. So, all about the DXY, they're passing correlations. The DXY still looks tremendously bullish on the daily, weekly, and monthly. It still looks great. Anything above $91.50 to $92 is tremendous. Upside could take you to $97 or at least $95. So yeah, it looks fine still. The more significant time scale you go to, the more bullish it looks. Look at the weekly candle close, a bullish engulfing candle. Look at this, a break and a hook, and now you're going. Break can go off of support resistance, man. So this is a potential double bottom still until it breaks the neckline or the confirmation line at 93.42. You just think about it. We talk about Bukowski structures on the DXY, the US dollar, aggregate of different currency pairs. Right, we're just talking about a measured move. If it was just going to play out normally, you know, on the weekly, and eventually this asset would run up and test. Wow, how about that? Pretty much like support resistance, you know, 97. Look at this, go back to 1991 and 1994. That's right around the area where the measured move would be. So that's okay, that's in line. Yeah, no one said making money with Bitcoin was going to be easy. God, no. But people certainly thought that when they realized whatever they were doing with their lives, they then realized, oh, somehow Bitcoin's at $50,000 to $60,000 in January. And then they decided to buy in. They didn't give a crap about Bitcoin last summer. They didn't buy into Bitcoin when it was at $9,000 and the volatility was just as dead, if not more dead, last summer than it was this summer. They didn't care back then. They only cared when 2021 rolled around and the media was pumping it and all the scam coins and NFT stuff came out. So yeah, I mean, you bought in last summer, you're up substantially, dude. All is well. Even if it goes to 25K, you're up so much. Even if Bitcoin goes to 24.5, it's not technically a bear market, right? You could still be in a multi-year uptrend. It's going through a correction, right? We got to go to Bitcoin just so people can understand. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the issue. Like Bitcoin on the weekly didn't make a discernible swing low pretty much the whole way up. From its discernible swing low from the COVID crash low on the weekly, that was it. There has not been a real discernible swing low that has been established since then, and that's probably what's being worked on right now. So you think that probably from the lowest low that's very discernible on the weekly to the highest high, the all-time high, you have only retraced about 57% at your lowest point. So if you're talking about the deepest of deep retraces, you're talking between $11K and $17,000. The 61.8% retrace, the golden retrace, 27,253. You never quite got there yet. So I mean, that's the way you have to look at it. And as long as you just make a higher low than the COVID crash low, you're still in an uptrend. That is what signifies uptrends. Look, you made a low April 2017 at 300 something, 500, $700, whatever, right? Then you made another low December 2018, 36.21. Then you made a technical higher low at 38.50 in March in 2020. So now all that has to happen for your long-term uptrend to happen, to continue, is eventually make a higher low than 3,800. So lots of pain can come in, and the people that get hurt are the ones that didn't care about Bitcoin until much, like it already marked up in price. The ones that didn't care about the Three Gorges Dam resistance at 11,463. They didn't care when Bitcoin was breaking all-time highs. They were in denial at 19.9 to 20K, right? Those are the people that are going to get wrecked and are going to continue to lose money. And then it's like, yeah, you're going to lose money as a holder, but you got into such lower levels. Like, whatever, man, just keep DCA and whatever. Long-term outlook. Eventually it goes to 100K. We all win, right? Historically, it's only always made a higher low. Except one time in 2015, it truly kind of double-bottomed. But it never made a lower low. Majorly, no. Yeah, if you care about Bitcoin, like for real, I'm not talking about swing trading and stuff. I'm talking about just like, hey, technology, you have to have a 5 to 10 year outlook. You have to. Otherwise, you just get out and stay out. And then maybe you can come back after that 40% or that 15% impulse candle to the upside. You just miss 15% gains or whatever, you know. Dude, that's like, there's a statistic, someone look it up. Like there's only a certain amount of days that exist where Bitcoin makes all its gains, and if you don't own on those days particularly, you lost money, right? So I don't know, it's out there. I can't remember exactly what it is. Someone could probably look it up and find it. So this is not supposed to be depressing, man. It's only depressing if you're looking at it, if you romanticize Bitcoin and you need the gains right now. Bitcoin's a revolutionary invention. Okay, it's the hardest money that's ever existed. And that's not changing anytime soon. It's just you have cycles, right? You have waves. We had a wave, chat, that lasted literally a wave that lasted for 392 days. Just one wave. You know what I mean? Wave analysis. Up, down, higher lows, lower highs. The waves, all right? That's what M's and W's are. That's what harmonics are. You get waves, man. We're now in a new wave. We have no idea how long the wave is going to last. The wave currently has been going on for 91 days, a 91-day wave down. Any macro harmonics on Bitcoin? Not really, man. I think it's more like if you're talking about M shapes, you were on, this was X to A, all right? We knew we were on X to A. There was no way, it was undeniable. There was only one swing low and one swing high. That's not a swing low, dude. January, that's the same wave on the weekly. Now we're on X to A to B, right? We could very well be on the A to B wave. So at some point, you know, in between, we're in the zone, right? We're in a zone where that wave normally ends, right? But it's in the golden zone that the A to B wave normally reverses and attempts a major rally to attempting to retake the highs from the all-time high, from the top of A, right? So we're in that zone. So this thing could still dump to 27K, even maybe 24.5, right? The gap fill, and then reverse maybe, but like you're at least in that zone, okay, where the sell-offs happen and we're in this new wave and it's the shorter term wave, and you got another shorter wave that will occur after this one if we're talking about this theoretical, we're talking about M shapes, right? Oh, okay, then it rallies, comes up, well, there's not enough market participants, and then you get the major sell-off that takes you to much lower levels, to the 786, 886, right? That is like, if you're talking about a big M shape, we don't have one right now, but we could be in development of one, even though maybe not, right? Maybe definitely not. Maybe it just goes down to test 20K again. So well, man, I've been live for 45 minutes. If you enjoy the live stream, the like button, the bell, so whatever. You know, there's no real reason to like the stream at all, because like it's off. It's the off season for what I do, right? Because there's no like really very little opportunity going on in crypto. What renders my job superfluous as a streamer. You know, I try to educate. You know, that's what we just kind of did a little bit. Makes Bitcoin better than other assets? Well, let's think about it for a second. What of those assets would really survive if Bitcoin goes to zero? Probably none of them. I mean, right? Like, Bitcoin has the trust of the world, right? I mean, it has more trust than any asset that exists on the planet by far. It drives the market. Everything is tied to Bitcoin price action wise. That's what it is. And all bots are programmed to sell alts when Bitcoin dumps. It's just the way it is. It's when trust is established like that, that's what makes it better than everything else. Highest market cap by far. Nothing's even close. Ethereum second, and it's a joke. For now, and people theorize that Ethereum can flip Bitcoin one day when the market matures, but it might be a while. Because Ethereum's different. It's not a store of value or attempting to be a store of value piece of trust like Bitcoin. It is a platform for decentralized applications, and revolutionary applications have been invented on the Ethereum platform already, as you can see with NFTs and DeFi. So that's why people think it could flip eventually, but it might take a very long time, if ever, okay? I'm just drinking my coffee, man. Just trying to get over the fact that tubing got canceled because freaking weather, and here I am. So yeah, we got earnings coming up. Yeah, dude, remember? Yeah, we look at the IXIC, the Nasdaq, dude. What happened, chat? What happened on the weekly this week? Bearish engulfing candle confirmed.
Did the cream breakout fail?
Probably. I didn't hear a beep, so Probably still doing a lot better than Bitcoin and all the other altcoins. So look at the Nasdaq Composite, bearish engulfing candle. Last time we had a bearish engulfing candle, well, I mean, technically that was an engulfing candle on the 26th. You had follow through price action. The one before it, February 16th, follow through price action. Why could we not get follow through price action on the IXIC? I mean, that is like for real, like triple MACD bearish divergence. Look at that, man. Profit taking
I so appreciate
levels.
and love the education rain or you for being here with us every day, man.
So bright colorful fall. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, dude. Bearish divergence, man. Bearish divergence with a bearish engulfing candle with triple MACD bearish divergence with, my God, what could be possibly quadruple. I mean, really probably triple, triple bearish divergence. That's the COVID crash right there and the recovery. So after that, you just go with like that 1, 2, 3, just like the MACD. And you can clearly see like there's an argument for, a drawdown or a pullback on the Nasdaq. Okay, so and maybe what catalyzes it are earnings that maybe are good, but they were already priced in, man. Right, remember this on NVIDIA? Remember last week when we had a confirmation of a dark cloud cover reversal? What happened, chat? TA was effing respected brilliantly, and it took a while. It took till Thursday, Friday to really play out, but the gap filled on the weekly, and the reversal has been confirmed. I mean, the dark cloud cover, that's your confirmation, that big red candle there. So let's see how far it pulls back. Could go to back test all the way down to the top of the range, $600 roughly. But that's what you get, man. That's what you get. Identify your weekly bearish reversals, and you see how they play out, how they can play out. So, NVIDIA, that was incredible on the way up. Sure. Doesn't mean the trend's over. It just means that reversal, short-term reversal going on. T. Rollins, man, you notice the whole market is kind of reversing. We're looking at index funds that look bad, lack, yeah, it looked terrible. I mean, it was terrible, dude. Down 6%. Look at that, barely hold on support. This is the thing, though. I mean, learning experience for us all. Maybe the buying climax happened, like the Altcoins in January, buying climax, and now you're just, it's over, dude. Composite, man, obviously the smarter time to take longs was probably down here, of course, right? 250, the old 2011, 2012 high was kind of, you sprung, and look at the rally, and maybe it's just got further drawdown, further downside. But yeah, there was hidden bullish divergence on the weekly, very real, and it's just not playing out. It's just not, no one's buying. And again, when your index funds sell off, and this is gonna pull back with it, yeah, it's really unfortunate. Yep, unfortunate. They're just hanging on by thread. Once it breaks that, it goes down to 1189 again to test the 88.6% retrace. Yep. I mean, there was hidden bullish divergence. It just underperformed. Couldn't do anything. Not enough bids came in. And maybe T. Rollins, maybe. But not if earnings season's bad. Everything's going to get wrecked, most likely. It'll be a big pullback. We're going to get total real quick, that it's just tempting to break back above the critical 1.3 trillion, but just can't do it. It's pathetic. It's like it breaks it, then it back tests it as resistance, and I just, round it out. Really blow, man. That's right. Nvidia was good. Netflix was good. MasterCard was good. Yeah, you win, you lose. I mean, 3-1. Yeah, and people going all in, like on the wrong trade, the ones that don't play out. Yeah, you get wrecked, and yeah, that's it, dude. Like, you have to play the numbers game. The position sizing is important. The same amount of money goes into this trade as it did the trade before, and the trade before, the trade before, and then the future trade after this one, and that one, and that one, and that one. So, yeah, it's very important. A lot of people just they use the TA to try to go to YOLO bet, and that's not gonna work, man. Not long term anyway. You might get lucky. Don't care, dude. Dude, it's just so tough, man. Like, you look at Link, man, on the daily here. It's just, maybe it's a bottom, dude. It's so weak, and it's below critical support resistance from November and August and September of 2020. It's below them all, man. I mean, I think that this thing could be headed down to 877 if Bitcoin decides to roll over, which it very well could based on the weekly, 12-hour, and daily. Yeah, Bitcoin could roll over. And then that means the Link's going to 882. That will be probably your next major target, right? You hit 1526, you rallied resoundingly, you sold off. You hit, the same price the 22nd. It was an M-shaped formation. You rallied. Much lower high. You're back at it. Bearish. That's absorption of remaining demand at a demand line. That's like descending triangle behavior in many ways. You're on the other side of the fence of momentum. This thing went insane for a very long time. It's not over, dude, probably. I mean, I'm just saying, like, this just, wow. It would be a miracle if it recovered here. If this is exactly where it reversed, I get it. The XABCD, one bottom, a second bottom, type 1, type 2, or whatever. But, like, the macro just doesn't look good. The context of the macro and how homogenous this market is just doesn't, and it's below all the critical supports. It's just bad, man. I mean, like, wake me up when it gets back above 1641 and starts rallying for real with volume and conviction. It's just nothing right now. Tilray could not sustain prices above that critical support. Once it broke, it was over. There was no confirmation at that level either. That's it. It's literally it. You're playing a spring back test of spring, and then the spring rolled over. That's why you strategize longs there in stop losses just marginally below that critical level. That's what happens to assets that don't hold supports. They dump. Yeah. I don't know, dude. Whatever. Weekly RSI.
Mitchell, if you look at the weekly RSI on BTC and draw a trend line through each bottom since 2019 point, I think that's where we can see a reversal.
Through each bottom since 2019? What? 2019, dude, what are you talking about? I don't think so. That's not how RSI trend lines work. We're just nearing bearish territory. We're at the lowest level on the weekly we've seen since COVID crash. He says, never mind. I mean, there's you draw a trend line this way, okay, but we already have that on the daily, and it can't break it. Yeah, not very often Bitcoin gets down to these levels on the weekly RSI. Gross. But here's the real one. Here's the RSI trend line that cannot be breached. It's a steel wall, man. It's crazy. Bandar, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, again, like, I feel like what I do sometimes doesn't even matter, in the end. So maybe that person's more entertaining, or, whatever. They're just better at this thing than me, streaming, right? clearly that's the metric for what a good streamer is views and subs and sub growth and all those things that people keep telling me to not care about or worry about, because it's just like, but those are the metrics though. Whatever, dude. I've been live 56 minutes, miraculously, right? Because there's just so little to talk about in an hour period with the market being so dead. This is it, dude. You either react here or you're done. You react here, you're going to 30K, and then you just you'll blast through 30K, and you'll be a headline. There'll be a headline day where Bitcoin plummets to 24.5 or 25K. I know it's sort of my job. It's exactly my job. Therefore, it's like, people are like, don't worry about the metrics that dictate what makes you a successful streamer. Don't worry about it. It's like, okay. Here, I don't know, dude. It's gonna make it or not. Oh, I guess we can just look at that real quick. Yeah, it failed. Cream has failed to break out. Yep, failed, and then even kind of confirmed it. Yes, you have a failed breakout on Cream, and it's not going to happen with Bitcoin doing this. I mean, it looked like it was going to happen. It was perfect, and now here you are. Hopefully, you can just make a higher low, but yeah, these are definitely reversal areas, especially price action like that. Yep, it's just it's almost impossible for an asset in this market, any of them, to do anything. The fact that Hex has done what it's done already was miraculous. Nothing short of a miracle on Hex, because nothing else is doing that. Like almost literally nothing else. Cream is like one of the only ones that looks pretty good, but maybe it doesn't matter if it can't breach the wall, the sell wall. It
might
did,
help if
and then
you're
it
a little
failed,
less upbeat
man.
all the time. JK, thanks for all the insight.
What's up, Nick, dude? Thanks, dude. This is like a major steel wall of support resistance. It's never been truly breached. I mean, you know, like ever since it fell back below it in February, it's never been able to truly break it with like strong conviction and follow the price action. No, so it's just another one, man, where it's not, maybe it's not going to do it. This is exactly where it could reverse all the way down to the bottom of the trading range if things get bad enough. Like Bitcoin goes to 24.5, Cream could freaking go down to $100, $105, the bottom of the little rectangle you've been in. So 7% chance of breakout. It broke out, but didn't sustain. And there's always that 30% chance that it doesn't play out, right? So Cordy, thanks, Matt. We're bearish everywhere, man. Super bearish everywhere. Bitcoin Cash, terrible. VChain's the only one that kind of looks like, oh, interesting. But it's just like pathetic, dude. It's just harmonic after harmonic. It's like, oh, is this the reaction low, the reversal low? Maybe, dude. Doesn't matter. Bitcoin done so low. Below the 200 moving average. This is like, it's either it's do or die time kind of a VChain too. Here's your Cardano analysis. If Bitcoin dumps, Cardano's going down too. It's awful, dude. I mean, it's going to $1 most likely again. Bottom of the range. I mean, it's really high probability. Daily hidden bearish divergence played out really well. It's still above the 200-day moving average for now. That hidden divergence played out very well. I mean, $1 should be a steel wall, but look at the momentum, right? High, slightly higher high again. All-time high, sell off, high, slightly higher high, about the same high, and then a lower high, another lower high. I mean, you've got, it's almost like a complex head and shoulders going on right now. You know, maybe it holds $1 and it's all good. Maybe it holds 200-day moving average, maybe, but long way down if it doesn't. You know, you lose 40% of your value if you don't hold that dollar. And I just don't know how it could. It'll probably see $1 if Bitcoin starts dumping again, you know, like the 30K. And then once Bitcoin breaks 30K and goes to like 25K and lower, it's going to 60 cents probably. It's not strange, pot. It's that this is exactly what, this is like descending triangle behavior on Bitcoin, right? Distribution after distribution after distribution with a buy wall. And the buy wall is absorption of remaining demand. Once the demand is all gone, once the remaining buy orders are absorbed by the sellers that are in control of the market right now based on the lower highs that we're seeing, then the huge bottom falls out. But that takes a tremendous amount of time on an asset that has such a large market cap, right? So that's probably what's going on. You look at that, that's a confirmed partial rise, dude. Well, I don't even check anymore, Elliot, dude. I don't even check because they just keep plummeting.
People anticipating upwards move? Not a request, just pointing out.
I don't look at those as metrics for what's coming or not, dude. Yeah, because I think that can be like manipulated. Whatever it is, it's your open short positions is nothing. It could be $1. There could be $1 billion $1 open short positions, and I think it can mess with that that metric that you look at. So there are times when like all the shorts and longs are at all-time highs at the same time or something, right? It's like good luck putting that into your formula for trying to determine what's coming next, you know? And it's like, you know, you say, descending triangle. It's more descending triangle on Ethereum. This is a rectangle with a confirmed partial rise. That's the take on it on more significant time scales. So, oh, that'll be like in an hour, Philip, and I certainly won't be here for that. So, yeah, dude. So, hey, I mean, there's still the chance the 4 hour would catch a more pronounced reaction on the new week. But at the same time, the more significant time scales suck. That's where we are. And that, what is that? Mixed signals. Your more significant time scales are saying down, and then your 4 hours saying this is exactly where, I mean, like if you were in another situation where you had no idea the context of what happened before, right? The huge run up for like a year, and then the huge crash, and here we are after the crash. If you just look at this like a rectangle with no context, this is exactly where someone takes a long on a swing trade. Like this area. This is perfect. But again, it's like, we know the context. We know the significant time scales. Like if you just look at this like it's a textbook and there's only a rectangle. We have no idea if it went up or down. This is the area where longs happen. But that's the problem because the context is really important, especially in a momentum-driven, sentiment-driven, speculative market like crypto. But like, I mean, an asset that just keeps making lower highs and keeps butting up against supports is not bullish, right? You're not like, you normally don't get this many opportunities to long an asset, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going on 6 times truly testing the bottom of a range. That's like too many times, man. And that's why I'm going with the argument of the partial rise and the absorption of remaining demand kind of going on. Yeah, divergence is very weak. I mean, you triple divergence and it's gone nowhere. It's just not rolled over yet. And that's like the divergence is probably just helping prop it up until it just farts out. That's right. The higher time frame takes prominence. Therefore, the 4 hour probably going to fail. Right. I mean, I think they can both play out. Again, you catch a reaction, you just make a lower pathetic scrub, pathetic lower high, and then it gets back down here again. You know, that's how they can both play out. All right, man. Well, off season continues. I know it's not descending, but if you want to see a descending, take a look at little brother. Take a look at little brother. There's a buy wall. There is distribution that is very clear. I don't think it's going to make a measured move. I think if anything, if it broke the demand line to go down to 1350 to 1440, if it ever broke that, then you're going to $1,000 or lower. So, oh yeah, Balapa, my bad, dude. Forgot that I even. Yeah, thank you, dude, for the reminder. So sorry, dude. Yep, I mean, this is another one where it's like, oh, I don't know, man. It's like, it's such a good spot, you know. Wow, what an area. But it just, like, down almost 5% at this critical inflection point. Made its lowest level since June, beginning through June. It rejected the 200 moving average not once, but twice, kind of 3 times. This is exactly like where, hey, composite operator, he had his fun with it, and it's over now. It's going to correct for months. Right? I mean, yeah, that's kind of where we're going, dude. Like, you kind of want to get in before these major, insane buying climaxes. And now you're correcting. And this thing, if it breaks through 1050, it's going to lose 50% of its value. It's going to go down to $5. So it's in a zone of support resistance, but it clearly just, it like couldn't sustain prices where it was in March. Yeah, it filled the gap though. It did fill the gap from June 2nd. But there's nothing like implying upside right now. Nope, nothing. If anything, it's like X, A, B, C, D, to where you come down to like $8, but $8 you're kind of in no man's land too. I don't know, I guess there's some support resistance there from June of 2016, November 2016. So that might be an area to watch. But again, after a buying climax like that, corrections last for months, dude, a lot of times. We already looked at the US dollar. Balaba, there you go, dude. So give me a reversal here or give me $24,500 eventually. That's it, dude. Reverses here, it's done. All right. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for the likes, love, support, contributions. Until next time, respect the TA.